Welcome back yet again.
Number 10.
Ooh! To the Ranagade Show, powered by the one and only Shine and Jam. The best shit around for your hair. If you need your hair laid, get you some Shine and Jam. If you want to look amazing, fly, fresh, and not have no fuss, get you some Shine and Jam. I am here with my forever partner in crime, America.
Awesome. Thank you, Ranagade. So glad to be back. Yeah. Episode 10. This is huge.
Yep. Brought to you live from underneath the Hollywood sign.
Welcome to Double Digits.
Yeah. Ooh, are we grown?
We are
a
grown.
little bit?
We're grown up. We're grown up around here.
We're growing up. We're doing good. The presents are getting bigger.
So we've been getting a lot of feedback from the episodes that we put up.
Nice.
And one of the ones that we did very recently where we had the audience, we kind of had this new format. Mm-hmm. One of the questions we ended with our great producer, Bossa, threw to us, and it was about kind of content and what's going on with content in the world. Boss, if you could re-rack that question for us so we could just kind of like get into it.
Yeah, so basically two of the biggest movies ever, Harry Potter and Twilight, are being adapted into TV shows. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my question was just like, what do you guys think about that? Because I personally feel like I'm on like both spectrums of like, let's be original, but I feel like it does let the storytellers dive deeper into the characters, into the plot. And it's like, I don't know, I just try to think about like, imagine if Game of Thrones was like into 3 movies. You know, it's like,
do you think that would be a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing. Because you can't.
It's oversaturated? Is it too much?
Well, he's saying that because
there's not enough time to tell the story.
Because there's more seasons of Game of Thrones and there's more episodes and there's more hours of content. Because there's more hours involved with making this type of content, people can dive into it more.
Right. And okay, I think there's a big problem ultimately with a lack of creativity, but I also think we have to acknowledge the fact that the whole market has changed recently in the past, let's say 10 or so years, where like blockbuster films aren't really doing the same things. There's not really a lot of budgets inside of the production world for you to like do adventurous films and stuff. People are doing more Kickstarter sort of things or just kind of funding their own budgets. You're actually seeing a lot of actors who have done really well in that space start their own production companies and start now investing in those good stories or whatever. You know, I think there's that. But I think I do agree with you in the sense of it does give somebody, let's say, because it's a good story. Like obviously Harry Potter touched a lot of kids and I mean,
but don't you think it's time to dive deeper into something new? I think that's the big problem.
Yeah, but is the new stuff good stories?
But isn't the problem that we're not giving the new stories a chance? Don't you think that's the big problem with creativity when it comes to everything? Is the fact that we're not even giving, like, listen, I love, and I said it last time on the show. Listen, I love The Karate Kid, but I don't need to see every single version of The Karate Kid imaginable in order to understand the story of The Karate Kid. Give me something new.
Yes,
give me a different story.
Yes, but I think this is where you do need people that actually take this craft seriously and give you those heartfelt good movies. There's only so many movies that come out in all of this time that like grab the masses that are like these really heartfelt, like, I don't know, it's like The Green Mile or like, I don't know, like, was the guy alone on the thing, Wilson with the ball. I mean, there's like certain stories where
Castaway,
it's like, like Inception, really, really good. Interstellar, amazing movie. There's certain movies that come along that are like really, really good. But then for the most part, there's so many opportunities that people have your attention that they kind of just waste it. That if you are gonna then bet your money or investment on something, you're probably gonna go for the route of something that's tried and true or already has a massive fan base. There's also that. I think half of this also then is which one of these worlds have these like cult-like followings. Okay, Harry Potter has its whole own section at
Sure, yeah.
What is it? Universal. Yeah, like at Universal, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, these
Harry
things
Potter
are
world,
like there's people that are obsessed with this. So, I mean, I guess some of that is now just catering to the audience versus trying to create new audiences.
Yeah, but don't you find that lazy? Don't you find that to be a creative problem that we're all having when it comes to everything? Is that everyone's just trying to do the things that everyone else is doing, and no one's trying to forge ahead?
Yeah, I think there's a duality to that. I think on one side there is a lack of giving opportunity to new producers and directors because it's the same fucking names over and over and over again being pitched out there for this stuff, where I know myself amazing directors, I know amazing actors, I know people that do make amazing music. I know all of this, and they're not really being given those chances. So I think some of that is you do have people like gatekeeping. You do have a lot of people not allowing these new faces to come in. Maybe some of that is just scared. You're scared that they're going to come in and make something so dynamic and so amazing that now you're going to have to now finally work. And then some of it too is, I think there's so many disappointments when then you do give the opportunities to the wrong people over and over and over again, which is why it's good now for them to, I love when they step out of it. Like, what's the guy's name who did Us, and what's the other one?
Jordan Peele, yeah.
Yep, like give these motherfuckers a chance. The movie's hit. I love seeing that. I love when you finally go, okay, this is creative. This is really good work. Let's give some of these let the others come in, you know, like Oscar's So White type shit. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't, maybe the shit would be more lit and you would get better stories in there. There's international stories that need to get told. There are stories from different communities that need to get told. That's why, like, the Cocos do so good and the Moanas do so good and the one with the Princess and the Frog or whatever. Like, these things do really, really good. Why? Because they capture global audiences, and global audiences are way bigger than certain other audiences. So,
yeah, but don't you think, okay, so like say Jordan Peele, right? I think that's a good example. If you make Jordan Peele do Psycho or American Psycho or just some horror movie that already existed instead of his original concept, it's not going to be nearly as good.
Yeah,
right?
but I hope, and I don't know the guy or his like discography or whatever, biography well enough, whatever, IMDb good enough to like make a call on him, but I hope he's player enough to like not regurgitate an old idea. Which is why then some of these movies he's put out, people are like, I don't get it. But it's okay. It started a conversation, and you ultimately did think it was good. So the Harry Potters, yeah, you're kind of catering to an audience. And some of that is like pandering a little tiny bit. But then some of it is like these people want to see it. So maybe there's that. I don't know. You know, I love me a double-sided, you know, you got to consider the whole shit, you know, but ultimately give new people a fucking chance, because these new stories are the dynamic ones. These new series are the good ones. These new docu-series that come out that like talk about other shit, those are the good ones. That's what I'm trying to see.
I just wanted to add, they had Jordan Peele do the remake for The Twilight Zone.
Hey, yo.
He wrote and directed majority of it.
Yeah, see
that was
yeah,
like,
but he still wrote new stories within the framework of the Twilight
you know,
Zone,
hold on. Maybe let's consider a whole nother layer to this that it popped in my mind right now. You got to think, too, there's new people coming into this game, or maybe old people that have been in this game that have now acquired the rights to certain shit.
Right.
So in order for them to get their bag back on what they spent acquiring the rights on, they need somebody to remake that shit. So somebody probably bought the rights or some shit to Twilight, or the family that already owned it, or the guy that already owned it was like, now I'm trying to eat off this again.
Yeah, yeah.
We got Twilight. Let's redo it. The guy who owns Harry Potter's like, I'm not done. The first round of a couple $100 million wasn't enough.
Yeah,
you feel me? I need more. So there's also that. Like, push for your shit. I don't know. I mean, there might be also that. Like, I need to get my bag back. Yes, ma'am.
What type of movies do you want to see?
All right, we're gonna pass the mic over. We're gonna get a question from the audience.
Let's go. I love it. I love that I already heard you, and we're gonna like literally just make sure that the audience hears you now.
What type of movies do you want to see coming out?
Honest, I like movies that are like super about life and moments in life. Like oh my God.
Are you into romance movies?
Nah. Not really, because I feel like most of them are mad corny, and then those are the things that are wrong with the world right now and why people fall in these like stereotypical roles that they think they have to play in situations. I think those things are kind of like part of the problem. I liked Interstellar, let's say. I like What Dreams May Come. I like some of the other ones. Like I liked NWA. I thought that was a great, well done movie. Belly is one of my favorite movies of all time, top 3 ever. I like movies that I feel like I can relate to, that maybe has a little bit of like lingo that I might identify with, or maybe then touches on important things. Like I think that's why The Godfathers, or like let's say like even The Sopranos or The Powers or any of these shows are good, is because they're
glimpses into something else. You know?
No, but they're age-old stories of like revenge and a brother abandoning his brother and a woman getting her heart broken. I mean, they're the same fucking stories told over and over and over again, I guess, right? They're not necessarily new interactions or stories, but I would love to fucking see them from the perspective of someone who maybe like I could relate to a little bit more.
Right.
So I think I fall close to those things.
Did you guys watch Snowfall?
I started Snowfall now, so I'm like 3 episodes in. So I don't know if I'm in enough to like be obsessive yet, but I do like it so far.
It's interesting to see the rise and fall of Franklin, and it's just about what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean that Rick Ross story is crazy, you know, and then to think that I mean that shit's true. That's like based on a true story. So for as crazy as that, as some of this stuff seems like movies, I think those are then the important stories to tell. Like tell the stories of some of these like other legends in the game, you know, like the Freaknik one that's coming out right now. Like I would love to see a documentary on like the Wu-Tang Saga joint. That was fire. I love that. I love any of that type of stuff because I think we have to realize what culture runs the world. So if we acknowledge that, now you're getting with the program. Like Jimmy John's doing the thing with us for the 420 thing. Like you're getting with the program. You know what I'm saying? So when they give 50 Cent that platform at Stars, you realize what type of money Stars can get in subscribers because he brings over millions of subscribers.
Well, and I think that's what you're saying too. It's like these are stories we've all lived.
Yeah.
So they're not necessarily new, but they're being told in a new way.
Yes.
And I think that's that's the creativity factor that's missing sometimes is that we don't know. We see things. Yeah. We see things that and that's what I'm talking about with the Harry Potter and the Twilight. Like, look, we know the story, we know the plot, we know the outcome.
Yeah.
Give us something new. Change it a little bit.
For
we don't need further details.
Yeah.
We need something new. Give us a new way of understanding how things are going, not more details in the plot that we understand.
Agreed. I 100% agree with that. 100%.
All right, so we have another question?
Yeah.
Definitely have a question. So I'm thinking, like, let me see how I want to word this. Okay, so with the Snowfalls and let's say like Frank Lucas stories, or like just all of the types of stories that are out there about those types of things. How do you feel about, and I mean the directors that do them and make them, you know, I mean some of them are, you know, super famous accredited directors, some of them not so much. How do you feel about people that are not in the culture that make those types of films?
Oh God, stay away. I think that's a disservice to the story, to the legend, to what the story means and all that shit. There's nothing I hate more than a good story told bad, or told through the eyes of someone that didn't get it. Like I don't like people to like speak for me ever. But my brother can speak for me. Oh my God, if I had put this thing on. My brother can speak for me, right? Like you like there's certain people who know me well enough who now can say, nah, she wouldn't go for that. You obviously don't know her. So I think that's why, like, I don't know, the Nina Simone stories, some of these stories that are like when people come out and say, I had nothing, like the Mike Tyson story where they would try to drop a story on him. He was like, bro, I have nothing to do with that. You're telling lies. Don't fucking lie on my name. What is wrong with you, right? I think but I think that's bad in multiple realms. It's not only bad because you're fucked up. Why are you telling a terrible story when there's a really good story that you could have actually told? Then on the other hand, you don't realize the significance of that story. So you missed the actual check. There was no passion behind it. There was no actual research behind it. You didn't actually care, that you weren't actually moved by that. There are some people now that then are actually moved by certain stories and do bring them forward, i.e. the Henrietta Lacks story, the Gila, right? Like the immortal cells. This is a story I had heard about 25, 30 years ago, like as a, you know what I mean? Like as a child, I heard about this. You know, I just knew crazy ass older conspiracy theorist types who would just tell me about all sorts of things. And I love that girl went and researched, found the family, told the story, did all, like, sometimes a good journalist, no matter what culture they're from, can do a good story.
Well, and that's
because
kind of
when
the
you
point I
truly
wanted
care,
to get to.
right?
I mean, as a journalist, that's kind of the thing I wanted to get to is that it doesn't matter if you're part of the culture. You have to respect the story, and I think that's kind of And I think
and the person.
It doesn't.
Yes.
I think you deserve the chance to prove that you can respect the culture if you're not part of it. You know, I think you get more points if you are. But
for sure.
I think you should get the chance to prove that you can understand something because, you know, like. Sometimes when you watch the NBA, some of the greatest analysts I've seen aren't people who played in the league.
No, never. Never hooped in their life, but they understand
But they understand sports. And I feel like that barrier to entry doesn't need to be so high in the sense that you have to live it to understand it. You just have to respect it. I think the most important thing, it's like the thing you say on the show all the time is you got to take your shoes off when you go in someone else's house.
Yeah.
Like, I really believe that, like, when it comes to, like, understanding someone else's culture, it's like, just because you don't understand it on a personal level doesn't mean you can't respect it.
And appropriation happens within a certain group of ignorant unculturedness, right? Because people of cultures love when you respectfully become a part of their culture. Every foreigner I've ever met, when I drop like a word in their language that I know, love it. Whether I mispronounce it a little bit, just my little tiny attempt at genuinely trying to connect with them. And I know how to say thank you in Korean, and I try to say hello in Chinese, and in in this language, and in Arabic, and in French, and whatever. Just so if I do meet somebody from that country, Eritrean, I know how to say something to you, hello or goodbye or God bless you. I always try to learn the God bless yous, But I think when you, like you said, you have to like take your shoes off, respect people, and do all of that. But on a global sense, there's a proper way to say, I love you, teach me. That's amazing. How did you do that? Wow, I love the way you cook that rice. We don't do it that way. Show me your way, I'll show you how we do it and where I'm from. I think that's a beautiful situation. I think it gets ugly when you now try to tell someone's story, tie it back in, when you try to tell someone's story or try to tell someone's culture without ever actually experiencing it or without actually giving a fuck about it. Like giving a fuck about, when somebody fake apologizes to you or when somebody like fake tells you like, oh my God, I love you. No, you don't love me. You don't fuck with me. Stop it. I know it's fake. But like Anthony Bourdain, why was he revered all over the world? Why did everybody love him? Because he went to all these people's cultures.
Yeah, it was the respect that he had.
Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
Every place he went to, he went in respectfully. He sat down. He was humble. He had humility. He wasn't trying to stunt. He wasn't flex crisper. You know what I'm saying? He was really like, he was genuinely present. And I think it doesn't matter what you're from. So once again, I don't think it's not about who you are. I think a man could tell a woman's story if he truly loves women and understands their story. I think a woman could tell a man's story if she truly respects and honors a man to tell his story. And
I think respect sometimes is literally just some of the words that you use. It's
Absolutely.
Not that my experience was worse than yours. My experience was bad too.
Yep.
That sounds so much different than my life is compared to your life. My tragedies are compared to your tragedies. I understand the pain of women through this perspective as a man.
Yep.
I understand the perspective of black people as a Persian. Like, if you can just literally just use a little bit more respectful language, then you can connect with people. It's not that hard. It's just, and I think this is kind of the thing you're talking about, good journalism versus bad journalism, having respect versus, not taking your shoes off. I think sometimes it's simple as the language that we use.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
All right, so we have another question?
I was going to go back to what you were talking about, creativity in general. And I feel like the pandemic kind of threw us off a little bit for a couple years, but there's a lot of good things going on in music and movies and creativity and stuff like that, but there's nothing exceptional. There's no like standout anything right now. Like, what should we be looking at? Like, what would you like to see come out as like being something exceptional to come out of the pandemic or at this moment in 2023? Because there hasn't been anything really.
Okay. I think the pandemic, for as crazy as it was, and for everyone who survived the pandemic, whatever you went through, pandemic, whatever it was, right? Whatever your version of it was.
I don't believe that, for the record.
Okay. Whatever your version of it was, I not going there. We're not going there.
Wuhan.
I got you all in check. Stop now. Do you laugh? You're done. Turn it off. If you laugh right now, turn this shit off. Don't even watch no more.
That's the joke.
Stop.
Is that it's
Stop.
contagious.
Okay. The pandemic showed people that as crazy as things get, you're still cool. Everything's fine. It's still in someone else's control. For as crazy as it all was, you were still at the hands of the DoorDashes and at the Amazons and all of these systematic things. So while the pandemic was crazy and made everybody whatever, all these things, it really just kind of crippled everybody a little bit more. Like, and I don't want to use that word in a bad way, but I think it was like a crutch that we needed as a society that like kind of just, it dampened the kids' spirit. It dampened the society. It made everybody kind of like scam the system even more, which like further put people in trillions of dollars. Like, I don't know if it was really good. But that was the first part of the answer. There's no more heroes. There's nobody, who do you know willing to die for it? Who do you know right now? I know a few artists that are literally breaking, you and I both know a couple of artists that work every day on their craft, breaking their neck, trying to make sure that they leave something on this planet when they go, right? And they're willing to die for their shit, but those people are not on the forefront. So until those people come to the forefront, who literally it's life or death for them, that's when you'll be moved. You have to see someone who is kamikazing almost for righteousness into the sunlight. Like, I'm so gonna be a beacon of light, I will catch myself on fire to show you. No one's willing to do that. No one's willing to fucking put their fucking dick on the table, excuse my language. No one's fucking doing that. There's only a few revolutionary actual voices out here. And I don't mean revolution in the sense of like rah-rah, burn down a building. I mean literally a personal movement where you go against the masses. You renegade your shit. You know, the Tupacs, the Michael Jacksons, the Nipsey Hussles. There's certain people that fit that bill who said no matter what till the last breath. Harry Belafonte that just passed away, God rest his soul. There's oh my God. Dick Gregory. Oh my God, his name was on the tip of my tongue. Dick Gregory. There's certain people who for their whole career have been talking their shit. Those are the people that you need to be listening to, because that's where then you're going to get actual fire in your gut. You're not on fire because no one cares. Everyone's like, everything's fine. Even if the whole bitch burns down, the fire squad's coming. No one knows how to put out a fire. No one knows how to catch themselves on fire. You know, you hear about those monks that sit in the street and are willing to set themselves on fire for what they believe in. Yeah. Do you understand? That's moving. And I'm not suggesting anyone set themselves on fire. This is a metaphorical.
Until the actors set themselves on fire.
No, this is a metaphorical thing. But you know, I want to see your art be. I want to see your art be your life. I want you to breathe it, eat it, sleep it, and shit it. And then when you do, then I'll say I can be moved.
I don't disagree with you at all. I think
we're just not moved by nothing. Everyone's like, nah, not moved.
I think what you're saying is totally right. But here's another take. I think what the pandemic did for the first time in a long time is we were all going through the same experience together. And I think that hasn't happened in society in forever because of streaming. Everyone streams their own shows. Everyone's on Spotify listening to their own music. We don't listen to the same radio stations.
Stream the Ranagade show.
We don't.
Powered by Shine
Exactly.
and Jam.
Stream us. And everyone should be streaming us all at the same time. That's my point.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is we don't all consume the same stuff. We don't all listen to the same radio station. We don't watch the same TV shows. The movies that come out. When The Godfather came out, guess what everyone was doing in 1973. They were going to see The Godfather.
Yeah.
Guess what everyone was doing when Belly came out? They went to go see Belly, or when it came out on DVD or the Bootleg Man or whatever.
It was the only thing you had.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And now, because we have so many options, we don't share anything in common. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. And why is there nothing that stands out? Because the thing that stands out to me is not the thing that stands out to you.
Yeah.
We have totally changed our ability to like connect with each other. And and like we were talking about it on the last episode or one of our earlier episodes where it was like everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. There are so many millions and millions and millions of K-pop fans. I don't know anything about K-pop.
Oh, this is how they do the heart symbol. I love you guys.
But I'm just saying, I don't know anything about this.
Komsomira, K-pop.
Good for K-pop. I don't know that. You know that. That's beautiful that you know that. But I'm saying, like, there's so many millions and millions of people that are into millions of things. I just know a girl that's super into it, as she showed me. That I don't know anything.
She was like 16. God bless her. Thank you.
So yeah, I'm just saying.
No, you're right, though. You're absolutely right.
There's no
you're absolutely right.
Culture
no,
left.
there isn't. Absolutely, I 100% agree with that. And I think I always kick it back to Michael Jackson, but I feel like Michael Jackson was a unifier because at the time you'd never seen anything like it. It was like, oh my God, this guy's going to entertain us. What does that even mean? I'm going to show you what entertainment looks like. I'm going to show you what a music video is, and everyone's going to run to the screen and do it. I remember my mom screaming upstairs and being like, Rana, like when Remember the Time dropped or like certain videos came out. It was like premiered on every single television station. Like you couldn't not see it. You know. So there's unifiers that kind of do that. But even like your global top tiered global superstars are not household necessarily.
So like
you might be a household name, but you're not a household understanding.
So like that Michael Jordan documentary, that Last Dance that ESPN did. Everyone needed it that time during the pandemic. It was like, oh my God, we all need this.
I cried like a baby.
And that was like the last thing that I can think of where it was like everyone's watching this all at the same time. Sports fans, not sports fans, because everyone's like, oh, this is
But
the
it was
thing.
also an ode to a time
Exactly. It was
where
nostalgic.
everyone,
Yes.
like everyone knows that dun 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 dun, that like opening.
Alan Parsons Project, yeah, I think actually.
Yeah,
so
of course you know that. My sports fanatic over here. Of course you know all the
music,
fucking facts.
sports.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
For
I
sure,
feel like
there's universal bringer togetherers.
So look, you could watch like a show like Yellowstone and be like, wow, that is outstanding to me. But is it outstanding to you?
No,
or
yeah,
Snowfall,
there's no.
We were just talking about Snowfall. Like that's outstanding to you and some other people. But is it culturally outstanding? Do we have anything that can cross all these cultural barriers anymore?
Yeah, there's a few things I think to this day who can do it, and I think you just have to be so aggressively pursuing the thing that you're pursuing that the whole world kind of stops and goes, oh shit, this is a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think you still can make waves. Like even just now with that whole thing, like I overnight there was like all these thousands of articles. I'm not saying like I'm a household name, but it's like the world does care. You just have to go hard long enough for the world to realize you're there. Like the pyramids. You don't stop building your pyramid because the people didn't find it. So whether people find my pyramid while I'm alive, Tutankhamun in it, or they find my fucking mummy underneath this bitch, I built this pyramid and it'll be here forever and all time. So I think you need people who are going to go as hard for their creativity as they're building a pyramid. Like carry those stones. It's hard, heavy work, but dedicate your life to your work. And there's a lot of actors, there's a lot of singers, there's a lot of musicians who, like KRS-One, dedicates his life to his work.
Right.
To this day, he's sitting there preaching, teaching that same message, you know? So there's a lot of people that are connected to that forever and all time, but you have to listen to the teachers. Harry Belafonte, you just posted him the other day. He's been out here rocking, you know? So sometimes we don't even champion our heroes until they fade, you know, until it's too late. So, you know, whatever. I think you just need motherfuckers that are about to just really like balls to the walls. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think this, circling back to the original question the boss asked us, was why should we not be remaking things that already exist? Because we're not going to find a Harry Belafonte doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh.
We're not going to find Michael Jackson if Michael Jackson has to do something that we've seen a million times over again. Like, don't make The Weeknd the next Michael Jackson. Make him just The Weeknd. Like, make him just what he is. You know what I mean? Don't compare him to somebody else. He's got the greatest song, most played song of all time.
I mean,
Blinding
he's
Lights.
a low-key regurgitation of
Fine,
Michael.
but
he's doing
No,
great.
but
I
my
mean, if you're going to
point
remake
is-
the whole thing, make it sound nice and get some good production
My point
on it. Fine.
is, if you try to compare it to Michael Jackson, he'll never compare it to Michael Jackson.
No,
But
because
if you
you
just
can't.
compare it to
Absolutely.
who he, like
Absolutely.
LeBron James, it's so unfair that we compare him to Michael Jordan. He's a great basketball player. It's like
He's not Michael Jordan, though.
I'm a heavy metal fan.
For
I'm wearing
sure.
a Metallica shirt. People are like Megadeth or Metallica. I like both. Is it so wrong to like
Right.
both? I like Michael Jordan and
For
LeBron
sure.
James.
Or like just recently, Beyonce, that when Rihanna did the Super Bowl, there was that whole conversation like, I like Beyonce. Who cares? Nobody asked
I
you.
like both of them. What's
Nobody
so
asked
wrong
you.
with both? Why? Like,
Prince or Michael Jackson. Like,
they're
none
both
of your
great
business.
artists. Like,
They're
why
both-
can't we just say
Yep.
both? What is
Yeah.
so wrong with both?
Because we've limited access for mankind's eyes for inspiration. You've limited inspiration. When you limit inspiration, you limit thought, you limit all that. Like when you realize like the education system was literally designed to just make you just smart enough to be able to work, but not smart
don't you
enough for you
think
to
the
for you to
niche-
break the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not smart enough to break the rules, right?
Run
so
the machines, but don't know how they work.
That's it. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is small thinking, but I think this is where now we have the power, right? And this is where the power of the internet comes in. Like if you are watching this, you are seeking the alternative.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, you aren't a part of that. You are living a more renegade lifestyle of saying, that's cool and all, but these beaten paths become polluted. These beaten paths end up highways that stop life from crossing. These beaten paths are filled with trash because so many disrespectful people have come that have trashed it along the way.
How far are you going to get on a beaten path?
How far do you get on a beaten path?
How many
right?
new places would you
Absolutely.
ever go on a beaten
so,
path?
you know, ultimately, even if there's ramps and off ramps on these beaten paths and these highways of lives that have been made, you're still going to the places that have already been, it's a curated experience for you already. But there's all this land. Don't let them fool you, bro.
Yeah, go on a hike. Don't take the 405, you know?
I just looked up this whole thing, this website last night where it's like compares country sizes. Like Iran is 1/6 of the U.S., which is crazy big. Canada and U.S. are like pretty much the same size. Like
except for that giant part of Canada.
Yeah. Like oh my gosh, you guys should do this. Your mind will be blown at like how much smaller places are than you thought they were and how much bigger places are than you thought they were. So
it's a really interesting effect. It's called the Mercator effect, right? And so that's why like when you look at Greenland on a map, it's like humongous. And you look at Africa on a map and it's like, it's not that big. It's because it's closer to the middle of the image. When it's on the outside, it looks way, way bigger. So like Greenland is tiny compared to Africa, but if you look at a map, it looks bigger. It's completely ridiculous. And it's, there's a lot of history of racism and European colonialism that led to all that type of stuff.
Racists make the world go round. For real, they do. They do, and I hate it here.
All right, so...
But limited creativity, limited thoughts, limited access, and I think that's how they keep you limited. But thank you for being here. Bring your friends to this type of thinking. Go to the places where people are handing out protective gear for you to go out into the jungle on your own. And protective gear being wisdom and knowledge for you to take with you to go out there on your Bear Grylls shit and just kind of, chop your way through the woods. You know what I'm saying? And carve your own path. And I think that's really what, my whole thing is carve your own path. Like, you deserve this land just like anybody else does, and you can till your soil, you can sow your seeds, you can water your own plants, and you can watch your own life grow. So don't think you have to take these beaten paths, and they're bad for multiple reasons. You feel me? So new shit, exclusive.
Speaking of new shit and exclusives, we have a new segment.
Okay, come on.
And it's one I thought of, and I think of you as the ultimate passer. You pass the ball, you pass the spotlight, you pass the blunt. And these are the people who you should never pass to. These are people out in the world.
The blunt?
Well, I mean, metaphorically.
Sure. I pass out blunts at the blunt bar, but sure.
You pass them out.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Anyway.
I just had to correct people so they don't think they get, you know what I'm saying?
No, don't ever ask her for her blunt. No. Don't do it. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, Rez is the only one person that can get away with it on God's green earth.
So this is a crazy, crazy story. And these are people that should never get anything past to them: food, water, safety, anything. So there are 6 cows that have been dead and mutilated across a highway in east central Texas with their tongues, anuses, and genitals surgically cut off.
Whoa, should we have given like a trigger warning before this segment started?
We'll throw that in.
Okay. Keep going. Okay.
There was no blood spilled. It was a straight, clean cut with
Aliens.
surgical precision. Do you believe that? Okay, this is what the internet's saying.
For sure.
Do you think these were aliens?
Yep.
Or do you think this was some lunatic out there?
One or the other. It's either Dexter. It's Dexter, actually. I changed my mind. Dexter. Dexter's laboratory is the Texas highway.
I don't think the little boy was killing people in the lab. So I think that was a different Dexter.
Sure, but I think it was Dexter. No blood on the scene, blah, 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 blah. Remember? Yeah, no, I've seen this episode. I've seen it. And I think this is like the same thing where like people go do the crop circles because they know they'll go viral for it. So if you just watch Dexter and you were like, all right, I don't want to get in trouble for killing people, so I'll just mutilate a bunch of cows and get my Dexter on. I don't know. We're talking about you now, so mission accomplished. Crop circle, cow killer. And that's not cool. What the fuck did those cows do to you? But aliens, I for sure believe in them. Our sun is a star. And every star in the sky has a solar system. Because it's a solar system. So if I'm here, rocking, just mad, just here, like amoebas here. No, they're playing with us now. But it's okay. Fuck them. Keep
Ops
talking.
are coming.
So the same way, like, we're all here, just... It looks like a fucking yacht. Bro, it looks luxury as fuck. What is that?
That's a Hollywood Hills
It
helicopter.
literally looks like a yacht in the air. You guys have no idea how fancy this little private
If we can get some B-roll of that
is.
to splice into that would be
That's OD. He better not come back around. What is he doing?
That's crazy. Can we get a shot of that?
Oh, they're probably going back to the Hollywood sign, guys. Hello, do you know where we are? We're underneath the Hollywood sign. So they're definitely doing a tour or something. Wow. Listen, when y'all see this, it literally looks like a fancy schmancy yacht in the air.
It's like a Rolls Royce with a chopper blade.
For sure. What the fuck was we talking about?
I don't know.
Aliens, nah, for sure. So yeah, they're out there. Keep going.
Okay.
Octopus are aliens.
All right, let's go back
start
to
there. No, drop. Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
more.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's go to an audience question.
You know, I like the concept. I'm like, yo, I'm the only one. Aliens. This is where we at right now.
He landed here from that helicopter
Yes,
to ask
you
this
know.
question. I didn't see him.
I'm just trying to find my
be
ride
fair,
home.
I didn't see him. He just parachuted down.
Yep, that's it.
You know?
Great skill, by the way.
If y'all know the right back.
Special ops drum.
Special
know.
ops drop.
So, speaking of aliens,
Okay.
you know, and thinking that it is a hawk actually, but thinking that, you know, you say like there's a star, all the galaxies have stars, you know, all the
Yep.
stars have the same things that we have.
Yep.
So, with them finding all of these UFOs here now, do you feel as though we are behind in the alien species? Because we're not there looking at them, or are we? You know, or do you feel like we lacking? Like, damn, they got a number, they got us.
Okay.
Because they already here, apparently.
I got this. Throw me the ball, coach. All right. Throw me the ball? Bet. All right. So,
Let her cook.
I think, first of all, I believe, personally, and I don't like to dwell too much on this shit. I've done my research on it and dwelled enough. So now the simple answer. I do believe we've had multiple eras of civilizations hit Earth that were then wiped out. And we've seen that evidenced through these precision cut stones and these other really immaculate things we find that we're like, how did they have the technology to create this art, these tools, these weapons, these things that long, thousands, like 10,000 years ago? How were they able to do such things? So I do think we have evidence here to show that at some point we were civilized enough. Then you have like the Zoroastrianisms and the Ahura Mazdas, and these things are believed to, like this, you know, that was an alien ship he was on. And when you see these figures, like in Hinduism, there's all these figures that fly, you know, there's hints of aliens in all the religions too, right? Or some sort of extraterrestrial presence of sorts, hinting at the fact that we are not alone and there's an omnipresence of a God that oversees all life in this entire fucking thing. Evidence. So, are we behind? Yup. But we're behind. So I think simultaneous to us being behind, there is people here right now who are versed in what the fuck is going on. But I don't think that's information for the masses. Like how your parents don't talk to you about the bills at the house and a couple other inner workings of this bitch. It's none of really the masses' business. I don't think it should be gate kept like it is. I think people who maybe can, you know, sign some sort of like, all right, you could trust me with the information, NDAs and all that shit, tell me what's going on. I think maybe share some of this info. But ultimately, I think people would bug out if they realized any of that sort of stuff. I think people are having a hard time figuring out Earth. You know what I'm saying? Let alone figuring out aliens. I think we need to figure out the ocean first.
Do you think that the aliens that come here,
What?
do you think that aliens that come here, like the ships that we see that be flying super fast and then disappear, do you think they go back and show that whole
Yeah, they're
place?
laughing at us for sure.
The
They're
whole
like
like the
these
whole
babies.
planet. Do you think they show everybody? Like, oh, this is what they're doing over there, or do you think it's like?
I think I think your
They got a
imagination.
government.
I think your imagination could run as wild as it wanted to, and I think just evidenced within our own planet, you realize that there is like animals that can live underneath, at the very bottom of the ocean, next to volcanoes that are running at thousands of degrees hot, with no sunlight available for them at all. So they're living on planet Earth with no sunlight, nothing, they can stand temperatures. And then you have animals that can survive the most extreme cold that we have. You have air plants. I have air plants at my house that don't even have roots in the ground. They literally just collect. I mean, there's so many things, like I said, octopus, cuttlefish. There's so many examples you have of life showing you life, it be life in. Life be life in. Life don't need you to give it rules or regulations. Life's like, oh, I could live here, I'm living here. I could survive. There's fish whose sole purpose is to live on like the chins of like great white, the whales.
The pilot fish.
Yeah, they literally just, that's their whole purpose. Like my purpose is to clean this big ass whale. Like you are a host, you're a human being. Your body is full of bacteria. Like they've done those little microscopic shits where they like check your face and you have those little fucking little bugs in your skin.
So where are we?
You're a host.
We're the bacteria in a human or something?
I mean, we're the bacteria of this big planet Earth. And then Earth is kind of like the little thing that's stuck to the sun. And the sun is the thing that's stuck to the fucking Milky Way. And the Milky Way is the thing that's stuck to the... Like, I think it's all just... Like, you're just the lint of something. You're just the moon of something. You're always just the sun of something, you know?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just... you're the something of something. Like, I'm the host of my organs. I'm the host of my cells. Like, everyone, right? Like, and life is really, really, and then when you realize, like, how well you're just kind of compacted in this bitch, like, you ever, like, cut your finger? You're like, damn, I'm fragile. Fuck, I could be taken out easily, bro. Like, one right cut, and I'm out. One wrong poke, I'm out. Nah, bruh. Nope. Yeah, so aliens, yes, for sure. But I don't think we're behind in any sense. I think we're exactly where we need to be. And I think even those aliens who are thriving and popping, if they get hit with an asteroid, their shit'll be gone too. What's up? What are we talking about, bro? Everybody got to be in the same shit. I mean, could we be more advanced? Yeah, but I think, like I said, we need to figure ourselves out first. I think like it's like you're worried about the wrong shit. You're putting the horse before the carriage.
Cart before the horse.
Cart before whatever the fuck.
But if you put the horse first,
fool
it's
me
fine.
once, shame. Fool me
Once,
twice.
fool me a few times. Keep fooling me. That's right. Just keep fooling me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But you fool me once, shame.
Keep fooling me.
Yeah. So, yep. All right. Well, I'm sorry. You were gonna say something else. I do apologize.
All right. So, Bossa, do we have time for one more audience question?
Yeah. Let's go. We got time.
That was a deep sigh.
No, yeah, I had to think. Deep.
That was the most dramatic. Not he rubbed the chin and everything. Hey, yo, he an actor for real. Yo, he really said.
That was a Disney level sigh.
No, it was not. It was a
He
human
leaned in
level
with it.
I
sigh.
felt
He said-
Mickey Mouse
he really
coming through
said-
that sigh.
That was a human level sigh.
That was a Mickey Mouse level sigh.
Okay.
He squinted. You didn't see him. He squinted and
Oof,
everything.
it was powerful.
But if there's something that you could tell your past self, that if you wanted to change something, because of like all the stuff that we're talking about, like what would it be?
I know. Go ahead. You got something?
I think the thing I would tell myself in the past, and I feel like I've gotten to all of the right conclusions. I think maybe I wish I would have gotten to them sooner. And I think the thing I would have really wanted to tell myself is to be patient with yourself. Like, just don't want everything right away. Just be willing to work.
Like no instant gratification.
Take-
Delayed gratification.
Crawl,
Yep.
walk, run,
Yep.
fly. Like, you got to do it in that order, and you
Right.
can't expect to do it out of order, and you can't expect everything all at once. And when you take steps in the right direction in your life, you will get to where you need to go.
I love that. That's a good one. I love that. I think that's a really good thing because people do. They want to fly, and when they don't soar, they're so sad, and they don't realize like you do have to crawl first, and then take baby steps, and then learn to run, get better at running. Then exactly all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think in the simplest answer, I would tell myself, because I think, and the girls will feel me on this, like every time you might, like you took a picture right now, you'd be like, blah, blah, blah. And you said that bullshit 10 years ago. But when you look at that picture from 10 years ago, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? I was so cute.
Yeah.
Right? Like every step of the way, you just are constantly like, you're so, and it's a good thing, I guess, because being so critical of self creates a desire to build for perfection. You should want to better yourself every day. You have the opportunity. Like you said, the crawl. Okay, if you're crawling today, build yourself for the walk. and then build yourself for the run. You're trying to fly one day. So every day you got to get better. You can't like fuck around and not do that. So I think it is good to be like critical of yourself, but what the fuck are you doing dissing yourself? Like, why are you, like when you were younger, you were like, oh man, like I'm sure when you were like a young guy, maybe all the guys I know were like waiting for their like beards to come in or their mustaches to grow or whatever the fuck. But like now they look at their face, they're like, look at baby face so-and-so. Like, shut up. All right, you was begging for that beard.
Right.
Right? The girls, like, you'll be like, oh my God, I look so ugly in this picture, my body, blah, 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 my hair, And then later on, you're like, yo, what? I was fine. What are you talking about? Baddie for life. Like, what? Whatever that may be. But I would tell my younger self or any younger self or any older self, I would tell any self out here, you're okay. Like, all them imperfections is your perfection.
Yeah.
Like, your flaws are your perfection. Like, this is a story that lives rent-free in my mind, and this is just a crazy random story, and I don't even know why, but just indulge me here. Do you remember that movie Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze and the girl?
Yeah.
That girl blew up all over the world because she didn't have your classic Hollywood face. She had like a bigger nose, or so they said, right? And that's what that was her whole thing. The world fell in love with her because they were like, wow, she was so confident. She killed the role, all this shit. That chick, she told this, and I don't even know where the fuck I heard this story. It might even be like some tabloid made up shit.
Jennifer Grey is who we're talking about.
And they pressured her. I guess her team, I don't know if she told this story, somebody told this story, whatever. They pressured this girl, I guess, to get her nose done, and she did. I know, it's wild up here, bro. It's fly up here today. It's okay, y'all good. Y'all can hear me. Stop playing. Y'all can hear me. I guess, they made her do that. And then after she did it, she couldn't land any more roles because everyone was like, nobody could recognize you anymore. Now you just look like another regular face. I say all that to say, you're perfect as the fuck you are. And that's what's perfect about you. If Woody Harrelson didn't have his gap or the iconic face that he have, you wouldn't recognize him immediately. If Jason Alexander didn't proudly rock his fucking moonroof, you wouldn't immediately recognize him. And that's powerful. Jason Alexander walked so Jason Statham could run.
Exactly, yeah.
For real. I'm telling you, that sounds crazy. But you have to own your shit because someone who looks just like you is watching and they need you to. So I would just tell whoever, bro, you're good. And someone's rooting for you being you.
Yeah, just a little more backstory on the whole Jennifer Grey thing. She said it was because her mother, she's Jewish, her mother pressured her to not look Jewish. It was some self-hating behind it.
Yeah.
And then when she ran into Michael Douglas a year after she got her rhinoplasty, he was like, who are you? And this was someone that was one of her close friends in the industry.
He was being disrespectful. That was shady, Michael Douglas. Not cool. I'm going to teach you how to Dougie Douglas because that was not nice. No bueno. Damn, who are you? Bitch, you know my eyeballs. Don't play with me.
So let's wrap it up with what we always wrap it up with. What would Ranagade do? Where we present to you some real life situations we found on the internet and we give you a chance to tell us what you would do. So this is a woman who's 28 and her boyfriend's 36. And apparently her boyfriend doesn't eat vegetables. He would never eat them at a restaurant. He would never eat them when he cooked for them. And so what she's been doing is blending up vegetables and putting it in the pasta sauce. And one day, the blender stopped working, and he noticed the chunky vegetables in the pasta sauce instead of the blended vegetables. Now, this woman's doing it because this man's apparently unhealthy. He's having some health issues. He's not getting nutrients. She's just trying to look out for him. He's getting pissed off because he's like, well, stop trying to, force me to do something. What would Ranagade do in this situation?
First of all, Ranagade would never be in that situation because Ranagade would never date a toddler who doesn't take his health seriously, first and foremost. So if you don't want to eat your vegetables, take your daily vitamins, exercise, do other ways and other forms of getting your health together. So first of all, shorty, if you're dealing with a man, or sir, if you're dealing with a girl, or anybody dealing with anybody who doesn't take their own life seriously, it's really, really unfair when I care more about you than you care about you. That's the worst setup ever. You shouldn't be just willy-nilly doing whatever, and then I'm over here really caring about your well-being and you're just throwing it all in the wind. So I think that's the first issue is deal with people that take life seriously because life is precious and needs to be taken seriously. I think the second part is if somebody tells you they don't do something, like you should never do anything behind someone's back. Ever, because you don't know what this guy's reasoning is. You don't know if he has like psychological issues. You don't know if he has actual health issues, if he's allergic to one of these vegetables. You guys never talked about vegetables. Which vegetables can he have? What if you're making him sicker? Not all of your little homeopathic little witch concoctions are good, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you take certain medicines, you shouldn't take certain other shit. Like if you have certain health issues, you don't need to like eat certain things like grapefruit juice is actually really bad if you're on certain medications, i.e. if you have heart complications or if you have a heart murmur or if you deal with those sorts of things, like turmeric can be bad for you because it's a blood thinner, right? Like these are just examples of you have to be careful what you give people. So anybody who does weird ass shit behind your back that's criminal, bro. Don't do that. Don't hide. If I tell you I don't like something, don't sneak give it to me and then be like, ha, gotcha. Like, the fuck is that? I don't want vegetables, bro. What if I want fruit? Or what if I'll just take a daily multivitamin? Or what if I want to get I'll do sea moss, I'll do sea kelp, I'll do nori, I'll do something else to get all of those vitamins and minerals. You don't need to sneak give me zucchini, bitch.
So everyone's the asshole in this situation?
Yeah, they're both dickheads and they need to break up.
All right.
He needs to seek some fucking personal self-help. And she needs to stop trying to like do experiments on people. That's not cool. Like if you tell me you don't like something, I'm not gonna just fake do that. What? Ew. That's the fastest way for us to stop being friends. Like I tell you I don't like tomatoes and you like puree them and put them in something and then be like, what? No, we're done.
It feels like a violation, though,
it's
right?
It's an absolute violation.
Even if the person is wrong. Okay, I don't think this guy is right for not eating vegetables, but it is kind of a violation of somebody's trust to give them something they don't want, right?
It's 100% a violation of someone's trust to give them something that they don't want. 100%. Because once again, y'all never didn't discuss vegetables, bro. How do you know how this man's body even reacts to vegetables or what his reasonings are? What if he has like serious like irritable bowel syndrome and the vegetables, all that fiber and all that shit irritates him? There's so many things, bro. Like you're not, no, ma'am, no, you must be stopped.
All right, so we got one more.
Uh-huh.
I think this one, it kind of ties to what you were just saying. Like, how are you supposed to interpret people's behaviors based on what they do? So this is sister-in-law. This woman's talking about her sister-in-law, Amy. Mm-hmm. She comes to visit her from out of town all the time. And Amy doesn't pick up a lot of checks because Amy always conveniently forgets her wallet. Now, what she's saying is that she caught her sister-in-law by grabbing her wallet that she conveniently forgets every time they go out. Mm-hmm. So she never has a chance to pay. And so she brought the wallet. And now the sister-in-law is saying, Amy's saying, you violated my trust by grabbing my wallet. That's my thing. But the sister, is just saying like, hey, you always forget it, so that's why you can't pay. So now here's your chance to pay. What would Ranagade do in this situation?
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, Amy, you're a bum. You're used to being spoiled by your brother and your family, so you think whenever you're with your family or your brother, somebody has to pay for you. When you're a grown-ass woman, and you should technically be either paying for your own food or like maybe consult with your brother to make sure everything is good. Hey, Sabby's the best ever. I love when he comes here. Everyone meets Sabby, the best dog ever.
Shiny jab dog.
So, yeah, right? The supermodel.
He's very shiny.
So, right? It's the cutest, the best coat ever. So healthy. Such a handsome fellow. So, first of all, Amy is kind of taking advantage of her brother playing Big Brother. Now, the brother's guilty because the brother should figure out what the hell's going on here. Like, the brother should have been told the wife, like, hey, honey, it's all good. I got my sister. I'm her brother. This is what the family does. Because that's not a bad thing, right? Yeah. Like, your family takes care of the family. And then if the brother's especially older, like, I'm older, so literally I'll fight you to, like, pay for stuff. You usually have to, like,
they're sneaking around.
Yeah, like, we have to, like, beef when it's time to pay because I feel like I'm older. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's
but
just.
I have to pay.
Sure. But culturally, like, the older sibling kind of, you know what I mean? Like, my parents pay. It's just how it is. My parents will never let us pay for dinner ever. Anywho, so the brother should consult. And then the wife, girl, you're the biggest. You're tripping the most. Because if the girl is telling you she left her wallet, That is her way of not embarrassing herself when it's time to pay. You don't know what her reasons are. She might be financially fucked up, which is why she continues to come see her brother, and her brother knows that. They have a secret understanding, and he knows, hey, my sister's fucked up. I don't need her out here not able to go get herself a meal and shit. If she wants to come eat with us, I'm gonna take care of her. It's none of your business. And if her polite way out of it is to say, hey, I forgot my wallet, then it's whatever. Now, if the sister's being mad sassy and saying she forgot her wallet, then instead of touching her wallet, which is probably criminal and you're not supposed to touch people's shit, you could have just told her like, girl, I seen you looking at your wallet before we walked out. You know you left that shit on purpose. And you could have laughed it off instead of now being wallet touching thief lady.
Yeah, and it's such a gotcha move. Why? Like it's
because you're whack and you think, that's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers want to be sneaky and be like, ha ha.
Ha ha.
Like, no, you're whack. That's OD whack. Nobody likes that. And
terrible.
Don't touch nobody's shit. But you could mention it. It's funny you say that because I just seen you looking at it, but you didn't grab it.
Well, this is the thing you're talking about, tacky versus tactful, right? Like people are, that's just so tacky. Why?
So tacky.
Like, why would you do that?
No.
Why can't you just be like, how about I pay and then you pay back?
And it's really none of your business. This is something between you and your husband, and then your husband and his sister. I think those lines have to be respected and handled. Like if if I had an issue in any capacity, or if your girlfriend had an issue, which we don't have with each other in any way, but if there was an issue, that's on you to figure out. Or if I had, you know what I'm saying? If I had a significant other and I'm like, whoop de whoop whoop, y'all don't need to figure that out. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Like I can handle this because no one knows both of these people better than the person in the middle. So you don't know his sister. She don't know you, but y'all both know him. And then you need to talk to your man more. Hey, babe, what's going on? How come she don't ever pay? And then he'll tell you like, hey, she's dealing with hardship. Or my sister always been like that. This is just how we get down. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But no one's communicating. Once again, communicate with each other, people. Like, talk about what's going on. And Amy, get a job. Maybe. You know?
All right. Speaking of job, great job, Ranagade.
Thank you. All right, we're wrapping it up. Well, the Ranagade Show brought to you, powered by the one and only Ampro Industries, Shine and Jam, the best. We got Sabby here. I'm Ranagade PerRana. Please follow, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to this motherfucker. Send it to your friends. Watch it again. You know, all of that, because we say what we mean and we mean what we say. We love you. America, thank you. You guys are the best.
Thank
Shout
you.
outs to everybody
Awesome audience.
that
Thank you so
chimed in.
much.
I love y'all. Love you, love you, love you. Holla, 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 holla.